Hunter Biden is facing a legal battle in the midst of a presidential campaign. The president's son has been indicted for lying about his drug use when he bought a gun back in 2018.
Still, Republicans are raising questions about the special counsel in this case, and they argue there are more serious questions about the Biden family business dealings. Jenna Browder brings us the story from Washington.
Reaction is pouring in about the Hunter Biden indictment, and now his own attorney is speaking out too, saying these new gun allegations won't hold up in court.
Hunter owned an unloaded gun for 11 days. There will never have been a charge like this brought in the United States.
If convicted, the president's son could face up to 25 years in prison, though it's unlikely. He's accused of lying about his drug use on an application to buy a gun in 2018. The indictment comes after the collapse of a plea deal Hunter Biden struck with prosecutor David Weiss, who's since been appointed special counsel in the case. On Capitol Hill.
Well, it will be the first of many indictments, I imagine.
For Hunter?
Yeah. The weakest one.
That shows that the Department of Justice is doing its job and is taking it seriously, and they determined that these are the charges that they can prove.
Let's be very clear. If we were in a majority, nobody would be knowing anything about any of this stuff, and the Department of Justice was going to cover it up like they've been doing the last several years.
CBN News chief political analyst David Browder says there are serious questions about special counsel Weiss.
David Weiss, clearly the special prosecutor, is compromised. I mean, he was the guy that originally struck the plea deal with Biden's lawyers to basically give Hunter Biden a sweetheart deal for no jail time. And then all of a sudden, a couple months later, it's like, well, you know what? I think we'll actually put him in jail.
Browder says Weiss had to save face.
He was under pressure to do something after that plea deal fell apart. And this is the something, what we saw this week.
And critics point out that Weiss's indictment is the only Hunter Biden case where Joe Biden wasn't involved. Polling shows the public has questions about the fairness of the investigation, too. About half of Americans say they have little or no confidence the Justice Department is handling its investigation into Hunter Biden in a fair and nonpartisan way, according to a poll by the Associated Press and the National Opinion Research Center. 61% believe Joe Biden was involved in Hunter Biden's business dealings when he was vice president. And that could be the bigger case here. Critics warn this indictment could be the shiny object to distract from more serious allegations involving Biden family business dealings. That's what House Republicans are investigating in their impeachment inquiry. As we look to the 2024 race for the White House, Browder says it's all weighing on the Biden campaign.
Well, the drum is starting to beat louder and louder for Joe Biden to exit the race. We know privately Democrats, top Democrats, really don't want him to run. They won't say it publicly, but they'll say it privately. The New York Times has reported on this.
As of now, President Biden and the White House have not commented on the Hunter Biden indictment. Jenna Browder, CBN News.
Well, underlying all of this, we need to keep in mind that laptop, which somehow did not become an issue in the campaign in 2020. There seemed to be a coordinated effort between the Biden campaign and news agencies to suppress any information about it. Along with it, you couldn't make any posts about it in social media. Those were all shut down. And the curious, I just find it unbelievable that FBI attorneys were actively advising social media companies on what to do and how to deal with those reports. I find that truly incredible in a democracy with freedom of the press and freedom of speech, that there could ever be this kind of coordinated effort to manipulate the news. But that clearly happened, and we clearly have evidence that it happened. And now, is there more on that laptop regarding Chinese deals from the famous trip of Hunter and Joe Biden, along with John Kerry and John Kerry's son from his marriage, all of that into China, and then millions of dollars being invested in Hunter Biden enterprises? That is an untold story. And I assume is going to be part of the investigation by the Congress. Get ready. Hunter Biden is now running for president. It's going to be all about him and not about his father.